Donahue, AP News.
The Salem Memorial District Hospital is proud to offer mammograms with digital 3D images. This latest technology allows for a better detection rate with a lower dose of radiation, a soft curved surface for more patient comfort, and pristine images for superior accuracy for women with dense breasts and more. You can make your appointment now to get a mammogram with the latest technology close to home. Just call 729-6626 and ask for radiology. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Out of town and want to know what's going on in Salem, how the Salem Tigers did, or who may have passed away? There's only one way to get that information quickly, and that's by going to Your World Today online. Go to KSMORadio.com and click on the Your World Today button, and you'll get the latest edition online, or check out the Your World Today archives. And if you are in town, pick one up in any of the 30-plus locations in Salem and Bunker. Your World Today, they're free!
Connecting Missouri means affordable internet and endless opportunities, jobs, education, healthcare, and family connections. Join the Affordable Connectivity Program for up to a $30 monthly discount on home internet. Check eligibility at connectmissouri.org or call 877-384-2575. That's 877-384-2575. Funding provided by FCC, empowering Missouri through connectivity.
Good afternoon and welcome to KSMO Radio. Let's take a look at your weather situation. Outside our studios, our skies are anywhere from partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. We have a breeze out the south at about 7 miles per hour. Now that does gust as high as 16 miles per hour. Now for your forecast, we'll be partly sunny today with a high temperature near 84. Southerly winds will be 9 to 11 miles per hour. We should have mostly cloudy skies tonight with a low temperature around 61 degrees. Southerly winds will be 7 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow we do have a chance of showers and also possibility of some thunderstorms after 4 p.m. tomorrow. Chance of precipitation is 50% with mostly cloudy skies and high temperature near 78 degrees. Southerly winds tomorrow will be around 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Chance of precipitation tomorrow night is 80%, and new rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch are possible. Low temperature tomorrow night should be around 60 degrees with southerly winds 9 to 13 miles per hour. Those winds tomorrow night may gust as high as 18 miles per hour. Showers are likely and maybe a thunderstorm on Thursday. Chance of precipitation is 60%, and new rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch are possible on Thursday. We will be mostly cloudy with a high temperature near 73, and southerly winds will be 8 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies are in the forecast with a low temperature around 50 degrees. Then Friday, sunny skies with a high temperature near 65. Friday night will be mostly clear with low temperature around 38 degrees. Then Saturday will be sunny with a high temperature only near 59 degrees. Now the forecast for Saturday night inserts something we haven't said in quite a while. We could have some patchy frost after 5 a.m. Otherwise, the night will be mostly clear with a low temperature around 36 degrees. Sunday morning could still have some patchy frost. The day will become sunny with a high temperature near 64 degrees. Sunday night should be mostly clear with a low around 40, and Monday, which is Columbus Day, will be sunny with a high temperature near 70 degrees. And that is your noon hour weather forecast brought to you as a courtesy of all of us here at KSMO, where it is now time for the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report.
I'm always amazed by the amount of misinformation groups masquerading as animal welfareists can create. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. Most of us look at a wild-eyed and wild-haired girl wearing little more than a lettuce leaf while spreading anti-meat propaganda as fanatical. Comb that girl's hair and put her in a suit and heels, and boom, suddenly people are listening to what she has to say. Identifying someone as an animal rights activist isn't as easy as it used to be. Identifying an animal rights agenda isn't as easy as it used to be. Today, the activist oftentimes looks less like an extremist and more like Well, a friend. The activist that is trying to convince people to stop eating meat could very well be your waiter, your neighbor, or your preacher. One thing I've learned from social media is that many of my acquaintances, including some cousins and some old friends, lean much closer to supporting an animal rights state than I would have ever imagined. These people are not extremist in their actions, but in their Midwestern-born and farm-raised hearts, the lines are blurred between kittens and calves. Most grew up with meat on the table and still enjoy it today. However, many of them don't want to think about the connection between the new calf in the pasture and the steak on their plate. Ag literacy programs for school children and adults are so important. Talk to your friends and neighbors on social media and in person about what you do on your farm. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield. That's my 2 cents.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the Missouri way of life. We're for worrying less about the what-ifs and more about the why-nots. We're for checking off your bucket list and then making a new one. For starting a family, a business, a tradition. And if you find yourself starting over, we're here for that too. We're for building a life in Missouri and then going out and living it. And when it comes to making sure everything you've built is protected, we're for you. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we've got Missouri covered for life.
The will of a farmer is like no other, forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow, new chemistries, seed traits, and technologies, because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on earth.
Do you know who some of the most avid readers of Cardinals Magazine are? It's Cardinal alumni. Our former players tell me time and again that Cardinals Magazine is one of their favorite ways to stay connected to the birds on the bat.
And you know, Ricky, I've heard the same thing. They feel like they're still coming to the ballpark each day when they're enjoying the impressive lineup of feature stories in every issue of Cardinals Magazine.
Cardinals Magazine helps you really get to know the current players, not only their stories in uniform, but who they are off the field and how they got to where they are.
And it doesn't stop with the stories on current players. No one does a better job giving fans a truer picture of everything happening on the field, inside the ballpark, and all over Cardinals Nation. Even stories on our Cardinals alumni.
Join our former players who enjoy the classic coverage of Cardinals Magazine. Subscribe for yourself and your favorite fan at cardinals.com/magazine or 314-345-9000.
Cardinals Magazine. It's all here.
Direct cash cattle trade is quiet and cash hogs are lower. Hello, I'm Kellen Havikin with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. It's a slow start for cash cattle trade across the country with bids and asking prices not yet established. Significant trade volume will likely be delayed for at least one more day. Box beef is lower at midday. Choice is 46 cents lower at $302.62, and select is 23 cents lower at $276.75. The choice select spread is $25.87. At the Oklahoma National Stockyards in Oklahoma City, compared to last week, feeder steers $2 to $5 lower and feeder heifers $3 to $6 lower. The USDA's demand was moderate to good for feeder cattle, but quality was plain to mostly average. Steer and heifer calves steady to $5 higher. Demand was good for calves. Weather remains warm at the beginning of the month. However, a cool front that could bring rain is expected this week and will drop temperatures into the 70s and overnight lows into the 40s. Receipts were down on the weekend. Year feeder supply was 55% steers and 60% of the offering was over 600 pounds. Medium and large one feeder steers 600 to 640 pounds brought $258 to $274, and feeder steers 755 to 798 pounds brought $242 to $257. Medium and large one feeder heifers 606 to 646 pounds brought $239 to $255. And feeder heifers 701 to 746 pounds brought $236 to $245. Cash hogs are steady to lower with a light opening negotiated run at the major direct markets. It's been an extremely light traded start to the week with no motivation on the part of buyers to increase bids. Near-term ready numbers are ample, and the recent trend in the wholesale market is limiting demand. And demand for pork remains relatively strong on the global scale, but there could be some uncertainty in the U.S. markets, and there's even more uncertainty in the pork industry as producers try to understand the implications of Prop 12 and whether operations update their barns to comply with that California law. Barrows and Gilts at the National Daily Director, $1.74 lower, with a base range of $67 to $74 with a weighted average price of $70.63. Iowa, Minnesota has a weighted average price of $71.26. The Western Corn Belt has a weighted average price of $71.26 as well. The Eastern Corn Belt did not report due to confidentiality reasons. Butcher hog prices at the Midwest cash markets are steady at $55, and pork values are 56 cents higher at $96.60. Butts were higher and hams were sharply higher. Loins and bellies were lower, with ribs and picnics sharply lower. I'm Kellen Havikin on Brownfield.
The will of a farmer is like no other, forged by the strength of generations past, propelled by the hope of what lies ahead. Unpredictability cannot shake its resolve. It wears a coat of courage and commitment, boots made of love for the land. At BASF, we support you with tools for tomorrow, new chemistries, seed traits, and technologies, because we know the world's future will be fed by the will of a farmer. BASF, helping you do the biggest job on earth.
That has been the Brownfield Commentary Midday Livestock Report. It's now time for a look at updated funeral announcements brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County for over 30 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information. They would take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker, and online at our website, KSMOradio.com. Your World Today, be sure and pick one up every weekday or check it out online. Glenn Silas Curtis, age 84 of Lacoma, passed away Friday, September 29th in Springfield, Missouri. Graveside services for Glenn Curtis will be today at 1 o'clock at the Ray Cemetery. And all arrangements for Glenn Silas Curtis of Lacoma are under the direction and care of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. That has been a look at updated funeral announcements brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Your World Today is the only daily news flyer in Dent County. It is available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker. And be sure to check out Your World Today online at our website, KSMOradio.com. Your World Today has been serving Dent County for over 30 years. And the best part about it is absolutely free.
What's the fastest way for you to get yourself up to date on the latest in news, sports, weather, and obituaries that costs you absolutely nothing? It's Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County now for over 20 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that will take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 30-plus locations in Salem and in Bunker. Your World Today. Pick one up every weekday. They're free.
It is now time for a look at local news, and it's being brought to you by Southwest Baptist University's Salem campus. SBU's Salem campus provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding area. For more on degrees and programs, stop by SBU's Salem campus today at 501 South Grand Street or call 729-7071. I'm Bob Parsons reporting. The Dent County Commissioners met for the regular meeting Monday morning at the Dent County Courthouse. At the meeting, there was general discussion on the MoDOT open house between the commissioners and guests, in which the consensus was the detour plan suggested by MoDOT would not be safe and would probably end up costing them more to repair routes K and KK than to put in a temporary bridge. You can find the same exhibits that were at the open house on the project's web page at, and it's a long one, www.modot.org/Missouri-route-replacement-over-standing-rock-creek-dent County. And before I try to remember all that, I just go to MoDOT and do the search and put in Standing Rock Creek and see what happens. Well, now a comment period form is located at the bottom of that page. You can also email comments to cdcr@modot.mo.gov or mail them to Dent County Route 19 Standing Rock Creek Project, care of MoDOT, 1511 Missouri Boulevard, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102. All comments must be received or postmarked by October 13th. In the road report, District 1 Commissioner Wes Bowry said grading will be done on Denton County roads 4220, 5600, and 6470, while brush is going to be cut on County Road 6420. He said if the parts come in, a radiator hose will be replaced on a county truck along with some other repairs. District 2 Commissioner Gary Polk said that crews will be installing a 4-foot culvert on Dent County Road 3140 and adding rock to that road. He also said grading will be done on County Roads 3220 and 3230. Presiding Commissioner Gary Larson said MRPC has released information for grants for small projects for museums from $5,000 to $25,000 that need no matching funds, and large projects ranging from $25,001 to $75,000 with a 50-50 match. The deadline will be November 15th for those disciplines who qualify. For more information, contact MRPC at 573-265-2993. Larson also reported he nominated Chris Pollock from Technology Junkyard on Highway 72 North for a recycling award from the Ozark River Solid Waste Management District. Next meeting of commissioners will be Thursday at 9 o'clock at the courthouse, and the meeting will be open to the public. Dent County Prosecuting Attorney Andrew Curley reports on Wednesday, September 27th in the 42nd Judicial Court in front of Judge Nathan Kelsaw. Donnie Box of Salem pleaded guilty to a new charge for the possession of a controlled substance. He had been on probation for the possession of a controlled substance, which was revoked by Judge Kelsaw at the request of the prosecutor. Kelsaw sentenced Box to serve 7 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections as requested by Curley and agreed to by Box. City of Salem's Parks and Recreation Board will be meeting this evening at 5:30 at the Salem Community Center at the Armory. After the roll call and call to order, the board will address an appointment to the board, followed by approval of the minutes of the September 19th meeting. The board will address the railroad trail and a new park policy. The board will then go into closed session. The meeting of the City of Salem's Parks and Recreation Board has been called by President Carlos Lopez. The annual Producers Field Day for 2023 at the Wardak Extension and Education Center at Cook Station will be this Friday, October 6th from 9:30 until 12 noon. A variety of featured speakers will share information on topics including utilizing winter annual forages in cool season pastures, incorporating native warm season grasses into producers' operations, the economics of keeping cattle through a drought, beef management during a drought with forage shortages, winter grazing grain sorghum, Missouri weather and resources, and feral hog elimination. If you'd like more information, contact Gatlin Bunton, Director, Wardak Extension and Education Center at 573-775-2135 or online at Bunton G, that's BUNTONG, at Missouri, spelled out, .edu. On October 6th and 7th, the Doe Run Company and the Viburnum community will commemorate the rich mining history of southeast Missouri at the 37th Annual Old Miners Days Festival. The event will include 2 fun-filled days of entertainment for all ages, including free tours of Doe Run's Buick Mine Saturday from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. Festivities will conclude with a spectacular fireworks display at the airport strip. Scott Mittenen, Mine Operations Manager, said that visiting underground mines is a rare opportunity for those outside the industry. He went on to say that even former miners may be intrigued to learn about the technological advancements that have been transformed the tools and machinery used in modern-day mining operations. That is why Old Miners Days is such a unique event that provides the opportunity to witness firsthand the intricate workings of a mine and the multitude of jobs and roles involved. Visitors aged 12 and older are invited to explore a full-functioning mine that extends over 1,200 feet below ground by signing up for the experience at the dough run table at the main event site. The underground mine boasts spacious roadways that can accommodate a range of heavy equipment, from haul trucks to loaders. Visitors can also observe the maintenance shop and rock pillars filled with valuable ore. Free bus transportation will be provided to transport guests to and from the Buick mine site, which is only a short drive from the Viburnum Shopping Center. Old Miners Days is a festivity that honors the globally recognized mining district of Viburnum. Individuals and families alike will enjoy a diverse range of entertainment such as a grand parade, a car show, musical performances, children's games, and food booths. All events will take place at the Viburnum Shopping Center parking lot, which is located next to Viburnum High School. Learn more about Old Miners Days, including a full schedule of events at https://www.oldminersdays.com/ During the week of October 9th through the 13th, the GFL Green for Life Environmental Services will be providing the semi-annual residential community cleanup for Salem residents. To have your items picked up, residents should place items curbside the night before your regularly scheduled trash pickup for the week. These special community cleanups assist residents with the disposal of items not regularly accepted for trash pickup. It is important that residents note that there are some restrictions on the type of items that may be disposed of during Community Cleanup Week. The EPA will not allow collection of yard waste, leaves, grass, or twigs, batteries, tires, motor oil, chemicals or solvents, paint, appliances, or non-compactable items such as concrete, tree stumps, steel, construction debris, etc. For questions about the Fall Community Cleanup, call GFL at 1-800-926-3953 or 1-417-741-7714. If you need help with removing your yard waste, you may schedule a pickup with the city for $40 per pickup by calling the utility office at 729-4117. The Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind the public that driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Monday in observance of Columbus Day. Normal operations will then resume on Tuesday, October 10th. The Missouri Department of Revenue wants to remind Missouri residents that the Real ID compliant driver license and identification cards are available. The department began offering Real ID compliant driver licenses and ID cards in March of 2019. Under Missouri law, applying for a Real ID compliant driver license or ID card is optional. By May 7, 2025, residents of every U.S. state and territory will be required to present a Real ID compliant driver license or ID card or another form of ID accepted by the Transportation Security Administration to board federally regulated domestic flights. Individuals will also be required to present a Real ID compliant driver license or ID card or another form of acceptable ID to access federal facilities including military bases and federal courthouses and to enter nuclear power plants. Real ID comes from the Real ID Act of 2005, a federal law that focused on fraud protection, anti-terrorism, and driver licenses and non-driver ID card security. The Real ID Act established minimum security standards for state-issued driver licenses and ID cards and prohibits federal agencies from accepting for official purposes driver license and ID cards from states that do not meet these standards. Visit dor.mo.gov/driver/real-id-information/ for more information. That's been a look at local news, and it was brought to you by SBU Salem Campus at 501 South Grand Street, where they offer degrees in nursing, which is an RN Bridge program, criminal justice, and elementary education. For more about SBU Salem Campus, contact Admission Counselor Chris Welch at 729-7071.
What are your plans for the future? Do you need a boost to generate a new plan or can't afford to go away to college? Or your work schedule won't allow you to go? Let Southwest Baptist University Salem campus be the boost. SBU is committed to flexibility, expertise, and the state-of-the-art technology. We now offer 2 new associate's degrees in teaching and Christian ministries, along with master's degrees in education and business. For more information, please contact admissions counselor Chris Welch to schedule an appointment as a prospective or returning student. You may call 573-729-7071. SBU Salem campus is your higher education with Christian principles.
Hometown Processing is now taking deer to be processed. They can process the deer however you want it, as well as make deer summer sausage. Hometown Processing continues to offer custom processing of beef, hogs, and other large animals. They strive to provide you with the finest, freshest meats and processing at the best possible prices. Hometown owned, Hometown Processing is located at 3450 West Highway 32 in Salem, or call 729-7278 and check them out on Facebook.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
It is now time to take a look at local and regional sports. It's being brought to you by your Ozark sports leader, KSMO. Silas DuBois teamed with Landon Richter for touchdown passes of 30 and 65 yards, while Atticus Givens had a 25-yard touchdown run, and James Lewis added a 10-yard TD run as the Salem JV beat Willow Springs Monday 32-14. The freshman lost to Sullivan earlier in the day 16-0. The JV is 2-3 on the year. The JV and freshmen will play Mountain Grove next Monday. The Salem Lady Volleyball Tigers will be at South Iron to face the Lady Panthers tonight, starting with the JV contest at 5:30, followed by the varsity match. The varsity Lady Tigers are 2-16-2 and 1-3 in the SCA Conference. Jacob Vrena scored 2 goals and had an assist on Sammy Bly's goal, but the St. Louis Blues lost to Columbus Monday 5-3. St. Louis Blues played Dallas this Thursday night, followed by the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday night for their last preseason game. Well, that's been a look at local and regional sports, brought to you as a courtesy of KSMO. Stay tuned for a look at sports from the Missouri Net.
Missouri Net Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. The MLB playoffs begin today. 8 teams taking the diamond, and it starts with the Tampa Bay Rays hosting the Texas Rangers for Game 1. Former Cardinal Jordan Montgomery will start for the Rangers. Jordan was personally 4-2 since the trade to Texas, but the Rangers were 4-7 in games that he started. They blew a 2.5-game lead in the final week of the season, sending them into this 3-game wild card series.
I think me and the rest of the team are kind of focused now that we know we're here. Everything that happened is in the past, and we're still in the playoffs and kind of control our own destiny.
Texas plays at 2. The Brewers, who won the Central Division, host Arizona tonight. They start at 6. The St. Louis Blues got off to a slow start, a 5-3 preseason loss at Columbus after they gave up 3 first-period goals. Jacob Verana scored twice. Sammy Blay added the other goal. St. Louis is 2-2-2 in exhibition play. They'll visit Dallas on Thursday night. Good news on the injury front. Torrey Krug, who had that foot injury, was reevaluated, and he played in yesterday's game.
Excited that I finally get to put the skates on in some live action. Nothing replicates the games, so obviously it's nice to get in.
They thought the 32-year-old would miss the start of the season. Mizzou hosts LSU this Saturday. Luther Burden leads the league with 644 receiving yards. He's had 4 straight games over 100 yards.
My coaches, put me in the right position at the right time. The offensive line, doing a great job protecting. Brady, trusting me and giving me great balls.
Luther says they have a lot of confidence they can move the ball against LSU.
It's definitely high. We feel like the team is going to go through us, come on our A game every game, and, set the tone.
There are 3 teams in the SEC with undefeated records: Georgia, Kentucky, and Mizzou. Mizzou will take on LSU. It's an 11 a.m. kick on Saturday. And the Chiefs are one of 4 teams atop the AFC with 3-1 records. They'll be at Minnesota Sunday. Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
We are definitely different than most long-term care facilities. Our entire purpose is to serve the veteran.
The nurses and the help that we have here, they're just such wonderful people. And I really appreciate the kindness and natural people that they are. Well, I don't know how they could choose any place better.
Missouri's veterans' homes are now accepting admissions. Visit mvc.dps.mo.gov.
Being there, every minute, year after year. As your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, it's not just our way of doing business, it's our way of life. Providing the energy our community relies on every day. And as a Touchstone Energy Cooperative member, that means value that goes far beyond the energy we provide. It's value you can't really put a price on.
Visit membersfirst.coop today. A message from Missouri's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
This is St. Louis Blues broadcaster Chris Kerber, inviting you to follow all the exciting action of St. Louis Blues hockey this season. If you can't make it to the game, the next best thing is being there listening here on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri. Your radio home for the St. Louis Blues.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Have you seen Town Screen yet? It's one of the most affordable ways to get your message out in the community. With strategically placed vertical screens in numerous locations in Salem, check it out at the Salem Community Center at the Armory, Aranda's Mexican Restaurant, and Taxmasters, just to name a few. Find out more about how you can use Town Screen for everything local. Stop by 800 South Main or call 636-338-1199. Hometown created and maintained. Town Screen in Salem.
This spotlight on soybeans is brought to you by Missouri soybean farmers and their checkoff. What soybean varieties should be planted in the coming year? University of Missouri soybean specialist Andre Reyes says it's important to carefully consider several factors when choosing what soybean varieties to plant.
If you have a variety performing well in the last year, my recommendation would be, have that variety again in the following year. The variety yield potential does not expire from one year to another.
Reyes says a good strategy is to plant 60 to 70% in a variety you're familiar with, perhaps as much as 80%.
And experiment with new varieties to that farm in the remaining areas, like 30%, 20% at the most of the area with new varieties.
You can learn more online at mosoy.org. From Missouri soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Stay right here on KSMO Radio. We've got Missouri Net News coming up shortly. And then after the top of the 1 o'clock hour, I'll be back with your latest KSMO weather forecast.
Wofford & Wofford Plumbing can solve all of your septic problems. They have an electric sewer machine and camera to help locate and solve septic problems. Plus, they can handle all new construction, residential, and commercial plumbing, as well as repairs. Wofford & Wofford Plumbing. Call the office at 729-0014, and they can get you taken care of.
Did you know that about 1 out of every 8 women will develop invasive breast cancer in their lifetime? Your friends at the Salem Memorial District Hospital are determined to change that with their new 3D mammography machine. If you have no insurance, the hospital can offer financial assistance to help pay for your mammogram. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 729-6626 and ask for radiology. The Salem Memorial District Hospital. Every patient, every encounter, every time.
Hi, this is St. Louis Blues broadcaster Chris Kerber, and I want you to follow all the exciting action of the St. Louis Blues right here this season on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri. They've been one of the longest-running St. Louis Blues affiliates, and if you can't make it to the game, the next best thing is listening right here. It's KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri, your radio home for the St. Louis Blues hockey.
What I need is a soybean that fits my farm. I need research that delivers varieties for the soils and climate right here. Varieties that handle the disease pressures we face each year. I need a choice in technology platforms. And I need top yield. I get all these things from MFA's More Soy. Every year, MFA does the work to develop and test soybeans that thrive in local conditions. The results prove it's worth it. My soy is More Soy. What I need is a corn hybrid with technology and traits that fit my farm. I need hybrids that meet the challenges local to me. Hybrids that have been through real-world replicated trials in my neighborhood. Hybrids that fit the soils and climate right here. I need hybrids that handle the disease pressures that we face in this area each year. And I need top yield. I get all these things from MFA's More Corn. Every year, MFA does the work to develop and test corn that fits the local conditions. The results prove it's worth it. My corn is More Corn.
It's that time of the year again. Time for the 60th annual Rose Holland Trout Derby at Montauk State Park, October 6th through October 8th. A cruise-in car show will be starting at 3 o'clock on Friday. Derby fishing hours will be on Saturday from 7:30 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. and on Sunday from 7:30 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. Also on Saturday, kids' activities from 11 until 3, live entertainment starting at noon and going until 4, then the auction at 3:30 in front of the lodge, and then on Sunday, prizes will be awarded starting at noon. For more information, check us out on Facebook at Montauk Lodge. All proceeds benefit the American Heart Association. This ad has been paid for by the Dent County Tourism Tax Committee.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabith. A $1 million grant is being used at the University of Missouri to create a hands-on learning experience that helps future engineers thrive in this latest industrial revolution's technology-centered market, dubbed the Fourth Industrial Revolution. A state audit accuses a Missouri sheriff's office of questionable buys on booze, cigarettes, and ham.
A state audit says the Ray County Sheriff's Office near Kansas City misused thousands of dollars in taxpayer money to buy things like beer, cigarettes, 15 TVs, and 76 hams. State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says nearly $3,000 in missing money, as well as more than $5,500 in questionable purchases, were made by the office from 2018 to 2020. The expenses were made during a previous administration under former Sheriff Gary Bush.
This is Missouri Net.
The